perfect, life looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be why? Now that I need you anyway. Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of time, I press the lens just to tell you, don't leave the way, don't leave the same. Then I drown with a child's play in the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Agatha All Along. Marvel Talk. Reviewing Agatha All Along. Maybe it's been Agatha here all along. I am, of course, OLED Ed Fries, and I'm joined by Mr. Andre C. Andre, the agent of he who shall not be named just yet. C, how you doing?
Oh my god, I'm doing great. Watched a great night of AEW action. Watched some Agatha All Along. Fuck you. It was a great show. It was a great show.
You're never going to get me to admit to it, so no.
I know.
Okay.
But in 2 weeks, I'll be invading your show. Remember,
Yes.
I have been enlisted on the 8th by
for the St. Louis show.
Astrid. Yes, I will be there to ruin your good day.
You will indeed be there to ruin my good day as you keep me in check with all my Lola hate.
Yes.
But that is for later on with Taking Over. We are here to talk about Agatha All Along. We're going to skip the whole non-spoiler section. There's nothing in this episode that we can say that's non-spoilery.
They walked.
They walked down the road. There. That's the amount of your non-spoilers. Now, let's address the devil-shaped hole in the room. Mephisto confirmed.
He exists within the universe, but
Yes.
nobody knows if he's real. He could just be, honestly, he could just be a fairy tale that is told. Like there's no
Agreed.
confirmation that he exists yet, but there was a very blatant reference to Mephisto in this.
They
Mephisto could,
literally say his name.
yeah, like Mephisto could be, again. And this is no hate on religion, but you can't prove God or the devil is real. Again, no hate on religion. I grew up Catholic, but it could be of that sort. He's talked about like the devil.
He's the Marvel devil.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. In the
Like,
Marvel Cinematic Universe, he is essentially the devil. When they did, what show was it? It was the one with She-Hulk. When they went to the hell dimensions, that was in theory the area where Mephisto goes. When she says, "I need to deal with the demon," that was Mephisto. It was an unnamed reference to him. But the demon in question is almost always going to be named Mephisto.
Well, it could also be a demon working for Mephisto too. Again, he is agents of Mephisto, as we said. Mephisto
is a term, but it's not the term that should have been used in this show, and it's the only thing about this that I didn't like.
No, but again, the way Sister Zemaida's character says it, an agent of Mephisto makes sense. The terminology made complete sense to me in what she was alluding to in that point. But let's get into the episode as it is, though. We'll get to it.
We start with the witches on the Witches' Road.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to figure out what's going on. They have arrived there from last week. Sharon is completely freaking out. She's trying to call the cops. Her cell phone doesn't work. She doesn't quite understand that she's in another dimension just yet.
Mm.
Enjoy Sharon while you can, folks.
Yeah.
We got many people asking why we have the newbie non-witch on the crew.
Yeah, again, you have the non-witch, and then you have a newbie witch, and it's like, we're screwed, is what everybody's saying at this point. We're like, we're screwed.
So she ends up walking away from the group as the group is having a conversation and almost ends up in quicksand.
Yeah, she lost her purse in there too.
Yeah, she had misplaced her purse, which is probably still in Agatha's house, to be honest. Oh no, she found it in the near the quicksand.
No, she
got put it back on her shoulder before she walks in the house.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I'm almost certain she puts it back on her shoulder. Either way, they save her from the thing. They're trying to figure out what to do next, and all of a sudden, there's a house on the hill in the desert.
You never go into the creepy house. You never enter the random house. This is the horror 101. You never enter the house.
But they enter the house. The house has the phases of the moon, and in this particular case, it is the full moon, which we are told means water, which will come in handy later. They walk into the house, and like things in WandaVision, as soon as we change scenes or we change decades, new clothes for everybody. Everybody's got new yuppie clothes.
Yeah, dude. The biggest one for me was actually Teen, because he just had like the hair is in a different point. Everything was just odd. And then I can't remember the character's name, but Sister Zemaida's character just go the long hair appearing. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Yep. So they go into the house. They're trying to figure it out. They look around for a little while, confused, but they find the card that explains that this is the first trial. And there's a riddle attached to it, which, whether she was trying to solve the riddle or not, or just saying what's in the room, Mrs. Hart, Sharon Davis, finds why.
Okay, but when they're exploring the house, though, I love it. She screams and she runs out of the kitchen going, "Bury me in that kitchen!"
Which again, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Which is again foreshadowing for this episode.
What? Astrid, you should not be here right now. Because
This
we
is-
are not. We are. This is
very
all
spoilery,
spoilers.
Astrid. Literally, the extent of our non-spoiler review is they walked down a road.
Yeah, that is all the non spoilers we can give you. So we're spoiling everything.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you are staying safe from the hurricane and you continue to stay safe the rest of this week.
And
So
no,
you can
and the
join me
hurricane
on
doesn't
Tuesday.
bother you, and you can do something tomorrow.
Yes. We need you to stay safe. So just relax. I know, but I wanted to say hi. We appreciate you coming to say hi. Now, go and enjoy something with the minis. See. Well, I might need a new co-host on Tuesdays now. The other host is dead. We'll talk. I still might have to take applications, but we'll talk.
No, I'm butting in.
Anyway, so we see them wandering around the house, and they all start breaking off into their groups trying to figure things out. There's a real interesting conversation. We got kind of already addressed it, but Teen wanders off with Jennifer Kale, who was played by what's her name?
Yeah.
There
I
we
keep forgetting her name, character name.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it's Jennifer Kale because the products that they mention in the episode is Kale. So
Yeah.
I'm almost, and I know her first name is Jennifer, so I'm almost certain her name is Jennifer Kale.
Sure.
But she's talking to Teen, and they're talking about Agatha, and they mention that Agatha sacrificed her son for the Darkhold. And he gets very spooked by that and by that admission. And he says, "No, she wouldn't." And he goes, and Jennifer Kale goes, "But that's what the rumors are." And then we run down the road where she's like, "Maybe you're a demon. Maybe you're this. Maybe you're that." Oh, we skipped a big part of this, which is we now know what the thing is with his mouth.
Sigil.
It is a sigil.
Yeah, that term was already leaked online. It was in the descriptions there after the second episode. It was already in Teen's description that it was a sigil. So yeah,
but this is the first we're hearing of it on the show, which is important to note because I wasn't sure if it was going to be an Agatha thing, but it is an entire witch thing.
Yeah, which confuses the piss out of me because why didn't they go, "Hey Sharon, talk to the kid, tell Sharon your name," and then Sharon could have told them.
But that would defeat the purpose of us finding out later.
No, I wanted to know now.
So, based on the things of tonight, with just this conversation with Jennifer Kale, knowing it's a sigil, the name drop of Mephisto, them purposely telling us that Agatha sacrificed her son, and then showing us the proof of it later. And again, we'll get to that later. Do we think that Teen is Billy Kaplan being possessed by the soul of Nicholas Scratch?
I think it's that. Because last week we were debating, is he Scratch? Again, the way they played it this week, I really feel that Scratch put the sigil on him, or use Mephisto or somebody to do it, and it's either Mephisto or Scratch screwing with Billy here.
Yeah, I think that I think that he's been possessed, and that he's possessed. That we have a teen witch, Billy Kaplan, being possessed by a smarter witch who, if sacrificed to Mephisto, doesn't necessarily mean died. Just means that he resides in hell with Mephisto.
Just means Mephisto took him. Doesn't mean he's dead.
Exactly.
Mephisto could take him and raise him and turn him into one of the most powerful witches in the world. I have a feeling that we're going in more of that direction than him secretly being Scratch. Or he is Scratch. He is Nicholas Scratch, and he put the whatever the fuck.
Mephisto put the sigil so that he couldn't say it.
No, like Scratch put it on himself.
That'd be
to throw them off.
Maybe, but that seems like a bridge too far.
I'm just saying, or Mephisto said, "I'm putting this on you
to prevent you from saying anything."
Not even that. I think it's just more.
Mephisto thing.
Yeah, because again, there's so many possibilities. Like again,
Yeah.
the more I thought about it after last week's episode, I more and more want him to be Scratch.
Yeah, I like the idea of him being Nicholas Scratch, but I still feel like at the end of this, we have to get Billy Kaplan as well. I feel like we need to get both characters if we're doing that.
Yeah, I feel stronger that the body we see is the body of Billy Kaplan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe being something controlled in some way by Mephisto or by Scratch.
All kinds of things can exist. What we do know is they drink the wine, and now they're all poisoned. And they have half an hour to solve the poison.
Oh, the face blowing up, looking all like bad plastic surgery was so good.
Yep. Great work by the CGI team to do those things. It was fantastic.
I don't even think it's CGI. I feel like they shot.
You think it was actual practical makeup?
I feel like it's practical makeup and prosthetics. I again, we'll see when we get the Agatha All Along assembled, whatever that.
Yep.
I hope it's revealed that was actual makeup and prosthetics and not just CGI in the face. Because again, you can practically do that very easily, and I think, and that's less honestly the makeup version. I think is probably cheaper than having to have a team CGI that shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I instantly think of Marvel and I think of CGI.
I know. It's just the way it looked so clean on the face that even in a Marvel movie production, I don't think that it would have been that clean if it was CGI.
It's very possible. I would not throw it past them at all because
it might be a combo of some makeup and prosthetic along with some touch-ups from CGI. It could be that too. I don't know.
As the episode continues, we are found that they're all going to be facing their fears, their deepest, darkest desires. And we see Jennifer Kale being essentially drowned by a priest, it looked like.
Yeah, I want to know where that comes from.
I'm sure we're going to get more details of this as we go.
Hey, you're kind of tracking like kind of what each person's fears are and how they manifest, and hers is one of the most interesting ones.
Yeah. We had Wu was her mother and grandmother dying,
which is it's essentially trauma, which would make sense.
That one tracks. Agatha, as we talked about a little bit earlier, she hears a baby crying, and when she gets to the crib, it's the Darkhold.
Yeah.
So that one again tracks with that's them telling us that her greatest fear and whatnot was that she gave up her child for the Darkhold. That's us.
It's their biggest regret, really.
Yeah. And then you agree with me that that's the show telling us that fact, and that it's an absolute fact at this point now.
Oh, 100%.
No longer conjecture, it's now fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's regret there. Yeah, she got her power, but she regrets what she did, I feel. Yeah.
We see Lilia Calderu sees all of the dead people. She's in the Sixth Sense. She comes running out to Agatha saying they're all dead.
She's Bruce Willis.
She also said, by the way, save Agatha as another vision. At one point, she was talking to Agatha when they were trying to find the petroleum jelly to create the antidote. And she literally looks at Agatha and says, save Agatha. And Agatha's like, well, I agree, but why are you telling me this?
We'll see.
So I'm sure that will come back to play at some point in the future. And who are we forgetting? Sharon Davis sees nothing. She's not a witch. She just lies there very, very sick. That's Jennifer, Lilia, Agatha, Wu. Yeah, and Wiccan in Teen sees nothing because he was unallowed to drink because he's underage.
So dumb.
Which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the logic, by the way. I just love the logic that he's underage so Agatha doesn't let him drink.
Yeah, again, I think it's maternal instinct in her.
Yep. She's very protective of him in this entire episode, too.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
The other three witches were very excited when they found out about the sigil to find out more. And Agatha made sure to put herself between them and him.
Mhm.
Which is, again, more credence to the fact that she's like us, sees a lot of Nicholas Scratch in him.
Mhm.
They put together the antidote as they go. Jennifer Kale forgets one piece. Agatha gives her a little bit of a pep talk while telling her that she hates her. And they find out that the missing item that's not making... Oh, by the way, before that, I love the idea that they're using the sink to try to make this thing, and she's using it as a cauldron.
And she
And like,
she
how do
forgets
we
that
make
she needs
the
to
sink
heat it up.
boil? How do we make
Yeah.
the sink boil? And Teen is like, do we have a sous vide?
What the? I was on Agatha's side here. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I watch far too much Food Network to not know what this is.
I
So
don't.
it's... Do you understand the explanation they gave you?
Oh
or do you
no,
want a deeper
I
explanation?
understand what it is. It's the thing you put in the water, which boils the water. Which it seems like an insanely great idea.
Yeah, so what chefs do with it is they vacuum pack meats or things like that. And you take the item and you submerge it in just generic water.
Mm.
And this circulator circulates the water at a precise temperature the whole time to perfectly cook your product, that the heat never goes up or never goes down. And it continues to circulate the water at that temperature.
Okay. I thought it was just
It's
a water
fantastic.
heater.
I would love to have one. I think they're fantastic. But they
I
are
assumed it was just
slightly
a water
expensive.
heater. I assumed it's just a water heater.
No, there's a lot more to it. It's a very scientific-y food thing, but it's very helpful for those that have it.
I'm very basic with cooking.
So they get the sink boiling. They realize that they're missing an ingredient. The ingredient is the blood of the unpoisoned.
Mhm.
So Agatha takes the knife, and I'm like, how much
Well,
blood
they
is...
were stirring this thing, and they're stirring it, and it's turning the wrong colors. And
Yeah.
they're like trying to debate. It's supposed to be cerulean, which
Yes,
is a
cerulean.
off version of blue it's blue with a little bit of green in it, but it's not teal because teal is more of a green with a bit of blue
Yeah.
tinge to it. So they're talking like, but they're like, it's green. It's just the reactions there were hilarious.
Thank
then
you
she
so
tell-
much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. And yes, this was the best scene in this episode. But again, all of this episode was really good because it gave us bits and pieces throughout the episode. But I
Lots
do
of
love
backstory
this
building.
scene.
There's a lot of backstory building in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're doing backstory building for each of these characters slowly,
Mhm.
without me making it feel like it's necessary, like telling us, like so many times when shows give you backstories, it just feels like, here's the dump of all the information. Here's the info dump on all these people. And in this one, it's very like, we'll get a piece here and a piece there. And we're going to put this all together. And at the end of this, when we watch it as one long, continuous thing, it's going to be epic.
Yeah. And like we talked about last week, you and me were very much thinking, okay, so each episode is going to focus on one witch along the road for their trial.
Yep.
And we were wrong because the first
No,
trial.
no. I think we're still right because this was a trial about a potion.
Yes,
This is a
but
potions trial, so
to that point though, it didn't focus completely on her though. We were both thinking it was going to be central. They were going to be the central character of it. Yes, it required her
agree.
skill, but everybody, we got backstory on everybody throughout. I think her character probably had the most. Yes, but it didn't say, hey, it's just one. It's not where we have seen with other shows. It's not one person's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
which I
little
like.
illusions were fantastic. We agree. A lot of times they're just flashbacks, but they did it so good and different with the show. I agree. They've been doing a very good job at storytelling with Agatha through 3 episodes in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And the fact that this has 9 episodes excites me because we're gonna continue getting these deeper stories. It's not going to get rushed. We're going to get time to do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
They put Teen's blood into the circulating cauldron of water of sous vide, and they all drink from it, and they're all ready to go.
They made him made him stir, but it's already circulating. So why did he have to stir?
So the water circulates in general, but it doesn't stir like a cauldron.
I know.
It's like the heat would circulate through a cauldron, but you still need to stir the cauldron.
Okay. Yeah, because they stirred it. It turned orange, and then it finally turned green. Melball. Oh, but heads up to people, there will not be a Japanese wrestling update with myself and Melball this Friday because I screwed up. Let's just say that.
And because Andre screwed up, Melball.
There you go.
For those that don't know what this is, Melball is a big fan of Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe is a wrestler. I'm waiting for the squeak.
Carl Fredericks.
Anyways, so we go ahead and we get, they all drink, but they realize as the clock is still ticking that Mrs. Davis, Sharon, has not drunk. And I love that they say Sharon, and Agatha goes, who?
Well, no, that's not till the end, though. The who is at the end.
No, but I still like the fact that Agatha still has no idea who Sharon is.
Yeah, but that who was at the end, though.
Okay.
Yeah, her who thing wasn't during this one. It was at the end. There's a
There's
squeak.
the
Yeah, but yeah, so they poured in her just as it's turning to 0.
Yep.
And
then
then well, we don't reveal it there, but then the cupboard's open, looks like an oven. One of them makes a joke about one of my friends when it went in one. It didn't happen very, which is a great Hansel and Gretel joke. I loved it. I fucking loved that they did a Hansel and Gretel joke. Yes, I forgot about a comedy show I'm going to tomorrow. Yeah, Fluffy.
We have Soul coming in again saying, I love how they're not doing basic witch things with the hat and the green skin. They're even hating on the stereotype. I look into research of witchcraft myself, and a lot of it is actually accurate. Yeah, Marvel seems to, and that's what a lot of things with Marvel. Marvel seems to put some effort into doing the backstory and the research about a lot of the things that they do. Not everything.
Research into things that aren't real. Witchcraft isn't real.
Okay, Andre, yes, we get that you don't believe in witches. It's fine. Moving on. But no, I do agree that Marvel's done a really good job. However, we do know that we are going to get a pointy hat, green-skinned version of either Agatha or Rio Vidal based on promo shots that we've seen in one of these episodes. I'm going to be Rio. Yes, it's going to be the Halloween episode. We're getting episodes 30th and 31st.
Yeah. I thought they're both episodes are on the 30th.
No, they're doing 2 back-to-back days. The 31st has an episode listed and it says surprise.
No, they put out a new one and it's showing both episodes 8 and 9 on the 30th now.
Are they?
Announced last week. I was pretty sure. Yeah, they're both 8 and 9 are on the 30th. They're announced for both for the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting the 1 hour finale for both episodes 8 and 9. Yeah, no, obviously Andre's allowed to have his beliefs. I just like picking on him. I think it's fun. But no. So they all go into the oven as the water starts filling the room. Because again, this is a water-based challenge. So they all go through and it's basically like a slide.
Mm-hmm. Water slide.
And it slides them back onto the witch's road. And that's when Teen notices that Sharon did not make it.
And that's where Agatha goes, who's Sharon? I was like, oh, that's mean.
It is, but it is very much in Agatha's wheelhouse.
And I think now with Sharon gone, we're going to justice for Sharon. That's for sure. I think this is where Rio will finally come back into the picture.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're definitely going to get Rio Vidal at some point in the near future. I assume she's going to be in most of the rest. I like that they brought Sharon Davis in for this. I like that we got to see Kitty one more time. Mm-hmm. I also do like that they killed her off relatively quickly. Because as much fun as the lady who doesn't know what's going on could have been, they were not utilizing her the way I had suggested last week, as to let her be the audience and to have them explain to her everything that's going on. Yeah. They just made her comedy. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on. and I didn't like that. It was my least favorite part of this episode was all of her stuff. Not because she was a poor actress, not because it was poorly written, but just because it didn't do anything for the episode.
True.
There are some times where having a character that serves as the audience, that doesn't know what's going on, is a good thing and can help you tell a story.
But I feel like Teen is going to fall into that role because he knows about magic,
Mhm.
but he doesn't know to the extent of everyone else. So I feel like he's going to fall into that role going forward, because she was in that role at the end of episode 2 and a bit of episode 3 because they were explaining things to her. They did tell her were telling her things,
Yeah,
not
but they
as much
weren't.
as they should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Teen will end up falling into that.
Not to mention she was a big obstacle in this episode with the whole passed out on the whole time thing. Yeah, no, there's that too. But like I said, I think it was fun to bring her back. I think it was fun to bring back all of the people that we knew and loved from the WandaVision stuff. Give her a little bit of fun and an additional episode, and then move on to what we all want to see, which is the witchy stuff.
Yeah. And I think I really feel like, yeah, like how many times could you do, oh, I'm the person that doesn't know anything. How do they save me in this one? How do they string me along? How many times do you really want to do that? And eventually that just screws with the story.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it was going to be a tough road to go, but I thought there was a way that they could do it, especially with so much of the audience not understanding witchcraft, that I thought that would have been a nice way to be able to kind of fill us in on some of the more subtle things that they were doing in the show. And they chose not to go that route, and that's fine. Because you know what? The route that they're going is fantastic. I adore the show, the way they're doing it. It's been great.
Yeah.
And her delusion made me want to cry. I felt so bad for her. Yeah, because she had the delusion of Wanda with the in the first episode when she was choking her husband in the first episode of WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, what do you think as a whole of this episode?
Again, I thought this it told some good story, built backstory for each character, because like you're wondering who's that guy to God damn, now I can't remember her character. Saoirse Ronan made this character to Jennifer's who is that guy to Jennifer? Like obviously the woo stuff, I'm not it's not surprising because we kind of we were already understanding, but you can see the trauma she's going through, having to relive certain things. So it's agreeing with her. Yeah, like the stuff that she's seeing the other one, the seer. She's seeing the dead people and things like that. So it's
Lilia Calder.
It's those ones I like that. Then Agatha, it's really telling the story of, oh, she's broken. This is a broken person. Like I think is where they're trying to head with this, is to tell you that she has utter regrets of giving up her child. It's her biggest fear while being her biggest regret at the same time. Maybe what her fear is that she has to eventually come face to face with a child. That's why the kid is crying, and it's scared. That's why it scares her so much, is that she eventually has to come face to face with that child. That's a big fear there, because she essentially sent it to hell. So again, I thought, again, great episode in story building and keeping us going along the road.
I do want to go ahead. We often do this. I want to shout out Jack Schaefer, writer, director, extraordinaire on this stuff. She's killing it. Jack Schaefer's absolutely killing it. She was the head writer for WandaVision.
No. This one was Rachel Goldberg.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the whole show in and of itself is being written and directed under the tutelage of Jack.
Oh yeah, she's a showrunner. But yeah,
she's getting writing credits for everything, along with everybody else who's writing these episodes.
Yeah, because this one's listed as Cameron Squires as the writer and Rachel Goldberg as the director.
Yeah, and like I said, there are 3 directors on the show. There are 3 writers. There's a handful of writers on the show. Jack Schaefer, Rachel Goldberg, and Ganji Montero are all listed as series directed by, and they all have 3 episodes. So
Yeah.
as a whole, they're all kind of doing it all.
Yep.
But Jack Schaefer's kind of at the head. She's the creative mind behind the show.
Oh yeah, she's the showrunner. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we have, like I said, we have Jack Schaefer, we have Laura Monti, Jason Rostlocki, Giovanni Sarkis, and Laura Donnelly are all writers for the show in various points, as well as Cameron Squires, Peter Cameron, and Gia King. Again, this is all according to IMDb, and I'm probably butchering some of these names.
I'm looking at Wikipedia for it too. Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, I wanted to shout out that team because they're doing a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about some of the issues with the writing in some of these shows, whether it be Echo. We liked Secret Invasion. A lot of people didn't like that. We talked about how we really enjoyed the writing in Secret Invasion.
We also like the Marvels too, and a lot of people hated that
as well.
We like the Marvels, and people didn't hated that. So,
New Rockstars put out a tweet, and I want to get your opinions of it on the air. They posted 6 TV shows for Phase 5, and they asked you to rank these shows. Loki Season 2, and just wait and see them all. Loki Season 2, Secret Invasion, Echo, I Am Groot, What If Season 2, and Agatha All Along.
I put Groot at the bottom because I've only watched like one episode of that series in total, and it just doesn't interest me. So again, I it has to go to the bottom for me. Okay. Hold on. I need to pull it up because I need to see the list.
It's one of New Rockstar's newest tweets.
I just need to look at. I'm just clicking onto Phase 5. No, I'm just looking at Phase 5 in on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
All right, so
you're Agatha, Loki.
The Secret Invasion, Loki 2, What If, Echo, Agatha, and Groot. But Groot, I don't even count Groot. Like that's not even on my list.
As well.
I don't watch it. So at number 5, and again, this is nothing against the show. I really enjoyed it, but What If? I feel like second season wasn't quite as good as first season. A lot of great episodes. Don't get me wrong. It's a show that it's impacted me least out of all of them.
I had Echo in that spot.
Okay,
the exact same reasons.
Echo's my number 4.
It was good overall, but it didn't hit home for me much on it. Our reviews of it were we were like, it's fine, it's good, I enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, it didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, and that's where I put Echo at 4th. Because again, good series. I enjoyed it. Good story. I think it told a better story than what If did, in my personal opinion. Getting to see the evolution.
And we flip-flop, because I had What If and then Echo, and you had Echo and then What If.
I think they did a great storytelling, the story of Echo, and then giving Wilson Fisk a lot of great story too, which only benefits Daredevil going forward, because you have the character, you're already so invested in the character. And then you have, and then at 3rd, I'm probably going with Secret Invasion. I very much enjoyed that show.
As did I, but that's where it landed for me.
Yeah, and then I'll put Agatha at 2 so far. Again, if this show blows me away, it's possible, but Loki was just so good.
Loki season 2 is fantastic. I agree.
That's my number 1.
I have that in the exact, like I said. So basically, what we did is we flip-flopped our 4 5s.
Yeah.
I had What If higher than Echo because I thoroughly enjoyed doing our daily reviews of What If season 2. I know you didn't get to enjoy all of them, but but again, doing that 12 days of What If.
Yeah, I had a great time with them. But just there wasn't as many hits as season 1.
I agree.
And there were certain episodes that I didn't care for. Mm-hmm. Where Echo, I enjoyed the series throughout. There wasn't a bad episode of Echo to me. Yeah. Where there was meh episodes of What If for me. So that's why that's the reason why Echo goes above What If for me. But all of them I enjoy. They're all good series. None of them are bad.
Sir Andre of Japanese Wrestling. Tell the people where they can find you.
At That Canada Guy on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. At That Canada Dude. You can find me on my YouTube page, youtube.com, at Andre Mello Wrestling Talk, where I review Japanese professional wrestling in the more of the long form, and we also cover the local independent wrestling scene over there. Me and my partner Melba. You can also hear us in audio form for all our Japanese wrestling coverage over at A Plus Productions on Facebook and aplusproductions.com as it rolled across the bottom there. Usually you can find us on Friday. It's a Japanese wrestling update right here on OLE, but there will not be a Japanese wrestling update this Friday here on the OLE because scheduling just doesn't work. Would have had to cancel this to get stuff pre-recorded, and Mel's busy getting ready for stuff. So we just decided I'm gonna go enjoy some fluffy tomorrow and not be able to record Japanese wrestling, which is good because I don't.
You've got LPW on Friday, and I believe if I heard correctly, you are the ring announcer for RCW on Saturday.
So there will be a show if you are in the Edmonton area, please come out. The Delwood Community Festival, the Delwood Fall Festival, the Delwood Community League. We are doing an outdoor show. And yes, I will be returning to the ring announcing game for the first time in a few months to jump back in the ring and ring announce at the show. So it's going to be a good time.
That's for RCW, correct?
For Real Canadian Wrestling in Edmonton, Alberta, yes. I was supposed to do another show on Sunday, but that has been postponed due to issues with the venue. Due to issues, yeah.
With issues. You can, of course, find me, Ed Fries, right here at Twitter at EdFries12584. You can find me on the Twitch at twitch.tv/EdFries2002. You can find me every Tuesday night with the wonderful and talented Natural Astro Bizarro. We want to remind you that this week we are coming up to the debut on the CW for NXT. We're going to give you a little sneak peek to the people who are here. Ashley doesn't know I'm doing this, but we're going to give a little sneak peek. I've done an overlay for the show on Tuesday night.
Ka-chow! New look for the CW, baby.
We're doing a watch along, so I figured it would be nice to have a little bit of pizzazz to it. So this is going to be what we're going to be looking at for the CW episode. I thought it'd be fun, a little bit interesting.
NXT 3.0.
NXT about 6.0 at this point, to be honest. There have been a few NXT .0s at this point. They're not really revamping NXT so much as they are just moving networks.
Well, they're going to be in an arena. That's a huge revamp, in my opinion. They're going to be in an arena.
Only for the first 2 weeks. We have no confirmation if this is going to continue.
I know, but just the fact that they're doing the first 2 weeks in an arena, that's already a revamp to me.
Yeah. I mean, they've done this before. They were on the road for bits and pieces of this throughout the show's history.
Yeah, in the 1.0 era, the black and gold, the good stuff. Yeah, they were doing great on the road.
You know, the pandemic threw a hitch in things, and you know the PC's been good to us. Like, I don't hate the CWC, but again, that's another conversation for another time. I want to thank
the PC's been to them.
All right, next week we are going to be doing episode 4. We do not know when, because again, these episodes drop at 9 p.m. Eastern. This show typically goes live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Andre likes to watch his shitty AEW wrestling. I mean, AEW wrestling.
I only wanted to watch this week for Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness, and then ended up watching Hook versus Roger Strong, and then I wanted to see the United Empire reforming to take on the Young Cucks.
Either way, we don't necessarily know when these episodes are going to air. Look for us to be here every Wednesday night. It might just be me on some of these episodes because I will be watching them at 9 o'clock. The problem with us doing them on Wednesday nights is I don't have the chance to watch heavy spoilers. I don't have the chance to watch New Rockstars to have added insight into these episodes.
It's true. But I like this way. It's
I like this way too, but I do.
This is the way.
I like. We are now Johnny Gargano, and you are Tommaso Ciampa.
No, I'm making a freaking Mandalorian joke.
No.
This is the way.
The way is a wrestling group.
They stole that from Mandalorian.
Thoughts on the Mandalorian movie coming up? No, we got to get off this. Thank you for joining us. We will be here next Wednesday night, probably. If not, we will alert you on the socials. If you don't know where those socials are, please go ahead and follow us on our local establishment, our Ole podcast on Twitter Instagram and Threads, Ole Podcasts, OLE Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube or Twitch at Our Local Establishment. Find us on Facebook at Our Local Establishment, and TikTok as well at Our Local Establishment. I want to thank you for joining us. Remember to enjoy this, have fun, and just be nice to people. A lot of hate going on out there, especially in the United States right now. Just be nice to people. We'll see you next time.
I'm
Bye.
so glad I'm not in the U.S.